Okay. Good news, that last refresh shows on the properties that it is indeed working again. The problem now is OBS is being weird and won't actually show it on screen. It won't put it in... It won't show it. What is he? Why? Oh, alright, that should fix the echo you guys were probably having in a second there. Yeah, I saw the echoes because the iOS camera was taking its feet in there. Why isn't it coming to the front? Or not to the front, but like to where it's supposed to be. Center to... Nope, let's try... Fit to screen? Oh, well, that... Alright, so now I can see it. I don't know where it was before, but... Guys are seeing a very zoomed in version of chat. Wow. Its properties were messed up, I guess. Why is it so big? Jeez. Oh no, it's not. I don't think I'm even shrinking it. Am I shrinking it? No, I am shrinking it. Okay, we'll get there eventually. It's work in progress. Oh man, Mondays. That's all I can say at this point. Mondays, man. Alright, we're almost there. Alright. Now I just gotta... There. There. Alright. We're back to normal. Yay! Alright. Alright. Cool. Thank you for bearing with me for that absolute nonsense fest. Ugh. Alright. Where was I before? Alright, wait, let me catch up on chat here. You know, I might have to run for a bathroom break in a second, go figure. So first, say good for a Monday. How about yourself? Could be better, but could be worse. Not too bad. Then flowing in the middle sometimes gives you gets. Well, you're a great help, zombie. No one does it better than you. Whatever it is you did. Alright. Gonna hydrate. You're the best, zombie. Let no one tell you otherwise. Alright, so... Oh yeah, I was talking about Sword of the Stars. Okay, so... First game, you had Destroyers, which are little... You know, your basic starter ship. Cruisers were your ship of the line, and then Dreadnoughts were your flagships. And there was actually a... It wasn't just Dreadnoughts were bigger. This game's ship design is based around the concept. They can tell me otherwise if they want. It's their choice to lie to me. That's a great way of looking at it. So the game's ship design is based around the concept that ships are made out of 3 sections. Command, mission, engine. And you can, in combat, you can destroy individual sections. It's usually like... Usually ships are destroyed because you destroy 2 of their sections and they just fall apart after that. It could be any 2 sections. It could be engine and command. It could be command and mission, whatever. And missions usually, you know, what makes that ship that kind of ship. You know, armor is just a fighter. Repair and salvage. Barrage is just like a bunch of long-range, heavy guns, you know, etc. It's all kinds. Colonizers. Dreadnoughts, in the first game anyway, have this thing where you can't destroy them... You can't destroy their sections. You have to do enough damage to the entire ship to destroy them. Which is a big deal, because while you can still take out individual gun batteries, that's always a thing, you can't be like, okay, they have some special kind of mission, not mission, I'm saying command, like say a battle bridge, right, has a lot of heavy combat lasers, which are these fixed forward-facing, super heavy lasers that are meant to just kill ships outright. We want that gone. You can't destroy the command on a dreadnought to silence those guns. You have to destroy the entire ship. Good luck. Oh, hey, Former. I am back. We're back to painting. I'm not sure exactly what fixed it, but I got it to be fixed. Oh wait, no, I know. I restarted OBS and ran it as administrator. That seemed to be the final thing that fixed it. So anyway, whatever that means. Like I know what run as administrator means. I just don't know what that had to do with. Yeah, no, Zombie fixed it. That's correct, Venom. You're right. I'm trying to take credit for what Zombie did. Zombie fixed my camera. So yeah, the jump forward to Sword Stars 2, which is supposed to be like the whole setting move forward like 200 years or something like that. Got rid of dreadnoughts. You only see them as your first version of battle riders, and you started cruisers. Now, this is all to explain how battle riders work. Battle riders, to catch everyone else up, I was telling Zombie all this before. Take a cruiser that their mission is a battle rider carrier. You then take a bunch of battle riders, which are destroyer class ships, with their FTLs taken out and replaced with just armor and guns. Just a whole load of guns, as many as you can shove on there. And then the cruiser brings them into battle. So it's like an aircraft carrier on steroids, because it's like an aircraft carrier dragging in like destroyer ships. That's the equivalent, because they're actually like a third of the size of the ship. Then you can do dreadnoughts that bring in battle riders, or battle cruisers, which are cruiser-sized battle riders, and then the final ones where we started all this, the Leviathans, the super ships, which are like, imagine like just having the Death Star as part of your combat fleet, bringing in up to battleships, which are dreadnought class battle riders. So dreadnoughts minus their FTL engines and just more dreadnought size guns. It's absurd. It's insane. It's having issues. Yeah, so it'll crash usually around combat. Like I think it's only done like once or twice in the like weeks I've been playing this one campaign. Because like I said, it's like risk scale, grand strategy. So literally one campaign is like dozens to hundreds of hours. Now, after countless patches and updates, it's been relaunched as Sword Stars 2 Enhanced Edition, containing a slew of improvements, DLC, and even a new faction. The shape-shifting Loa is available now for $19 or free if you make the mistake of picking up the original version. Yeah, that sounds about right. It is very fun. You just have to be aware that some things are definitely not finished. Some of the UI doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. The majority of the game works, and then it sometimes just crashes. Like, sometimes as you get later in the game, annoyingly more frequently, because there's more stuff going. I think some of it. Oh yeah, no, I have whatever the biggest, best version of it is. There is a mod apparently that is meant to fix a lot of the stuff, but I can't for the life of me figure out how to like implement it, is my problem. Because like there's this huge forum about its development by the community on the like official forums for the game, but I can't find any like installation instructions on how I actually implement this ginormous like GitHub file. Effectively, it's not even GitHub file, it's like GitHub collection of files. It's like a small game in itself. Now I'm like, I'm fairly computer capable. I'm not that capable. I can put together a WordPress site good enough that businesses will pay me, but I can't deal with whatever is going on there without some guidance. And I've yet to find it. But anyway, That was my Skyrim mod folder. Yeah, no, I hear you. I had a number of mods in Skyrim. Oh man, I had a throwing weapons mod in Skyrim. I used to be so big into throwing weapons. I still have a lot of throwing weapons. But I used to actually be good at throwing. Particularly knives. But I found this throwing weapons mod for Skyrim that for some stupid reason combined both your small your short weapons, what was it, one-handed weapons, your one-handed weapons tree with your archery tree to like figure out like your stats for it, which made it super overpowered. Like I could take down a dragon on like hard, not quite the hardest one, whatever, legendary or whatever, but like on hard difficulty I could take down a dragon flying over me with like 5 throwing axes, and they were like iron. It was absurd. Eagle out of the kunai. Aren't kunai the stars? Those are easy. Try getting a knife blade in from 30 feet reliably. Yeah. Well, where are kunai? Where's the little daggers? Yeah, the little daggers. I have some of those. They're like fun, but they're really hard to reliably sink into anything at range. They're too light. I like them heavy. My favorite throwers are like around a pound each. These giant like cleaver things. I could sink those halfway through a picnic table at 30 feet. I'd imagine like it. I imagine even if I hit someone with a handle with those things, I'd be cracking ribs. So here's the thing. I was learning throwing weapons as much for self-defense as sport. So like, a straight toss over a turn toss. Oh well, no, I was doing yeah, I was doing quarter turn tosses, basically, or no turn as some people call them, no spin tosses. Yeah, half turn. Yeah, half turn, quarter spin, or whatever. It goes from up like this to that, like that's its entire trajectory is just like that. I used a like a finger press on the back of the handle kind of technique. So like how much pressure I put on my finger sliding down its hilt is how much range it had, basically. It took a lot more practice than like a spin throw, but then spin throws are dependent on your range. You have to be at the right range or your spin is entirely off. Half spin is that, but you gotta hold the blade backwards because you're a cool kid. Fair enough. Anyway. Oh, so this is the fleet I've been trying to bring into combat, and my game keeps crashing. Like, before I can bring this into this war I have with the Loa. I'm really good at throwing popcorn in the air and catching them out, so I've got that going for me. You know, Venom, that's more than I can do, honestly. I can't do that. Yeah, Venom wins. Yeah. That beats me. I can't do that. So my first I like to call my fleets by generations, kind of like Spartans, where what I'll do is through the game I will do a bunch of tech research, and then all at once integrate a bunch of them into my new ships all at once. So it'll be like Gen 1 is your start. Usually like, yeah, the first like 50 to 75 turns where you're just getting a lot of like your most basic tech like figured out. It's Gen 1. Then it'll be Gen 2, and then what I'm on right now is Gen 3. Where my ship of the line is a Dreadnought battle cruiser carrier, where the type of weapons that they have is like phaser point defense. So like point defense, they can't miss and do enough damage to immediately knock out small missiles and drones instantly. It takes about 60 missiles simultaneously to overwhelm the defenses of a single Dreadnought using just missiles. And they usually come in squadrons of a CNC ship has its own thing, a supply/repair ship, it's its own thing, and then the 4 of these battle cruiser carriers. They will then drop each 3 battle cruisers. The medium weapons on all of these ships are, I don't remember what they're called exactly because they're a weird gun I only just recently like learned existed. That it shoots a bolt of energy, and when it hits, it does like okay damage, not the greatest damage, but it has a gravity effect. So things that don't have a lot of their own inertia, like my ships actually, because of how they travel, they get flung around by weapons like that. It's really funny, actually. Anything with a massive amount of mass, or in this case, direct gravity effect, just sends them flying. But what they do for ships that don't have that is they cause superstructure damage. So your internal structure, which is a stat, begins crumpling in on itself because you're just getting hit by gravity. Then my large weapons is that in a bursting, it's a beam. It does direct energy damage, and it does 4 bursts within the beam of those, basically, but like stronger actually. Then there's heavy missiles, which before they hit, when they're a certain range from their target, what they do is, I'm switching from, by the way, for painting, I just did Mornfang Brown as a base coat for the pouches. Now I'm going to do Rakghar's Flesh as a highlight. They shoot one of those heavy combat lasers, fixed ship-killing heavy combat lasers I mentioned, instead of impacting themselves. So they actually don't even have to get all the way to the ship. They just have to get close enough to shoot this giant beam. And then they also all have, both the main ships and the battle cruisers have torpedo tubes that shoot antimatter torpedoes that, when they get close to a ship, they then explode to spurt out something like 15 to 20 smaller, oh yeah, you got a zombie. I try to do that all the time, I sometimes forget, which is why as soon as I get affiliate, I'm putting in all those buttons to use points to yell at me for, like, what color, what brush, what model, get back in frame, hydrate, dummy. Yeah. Into a bunch of smaller torpedoes, not that much smaller. To overwhelm point defenses, which, even though the AI I'm currently fighting aren't even using amazing point defenses, it's still, I think, way more damage, and looks really cool. I'm about to, with the Leviathans, they have an extra heavy turret that's 3 heavy turrets shoved into one. That will be shooting Meson beams, which is like the strongest energy beam weapon you can get, which I could use right now. I just like the idea of, like, annihilating their superstructure with the gravity stuff. I'm pretty sure it also does more damage against fixed things like defense platforms and space stations, which, because I'm always on the offense, I have to deal with a lot. I am currently the biggest empire in my current game right now by, like, a good margin. It's a constant runaway issue, especially when playing against AI. Well, I've only ever played against AI because it's such a niche game. I've never actually found other people to play against, and now you have to go through some weird server nonsense to play with people because the online servers were shut down like 8 years ago, like 7 or 8 years ago. But anyway, my faction are the best at research by, like, a good margin. So for most of this game, I had so many resources coming in that I was unlocking a new tech every 2 turns, which is absurdly fast, by the way, like bonkers. There we go. Now I'm going to dry my brush a little bit, and I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing on the surfaces to give it kind of that rough rawhide texture going. So now all my ships and infrastructure and everything is like super technologically advanced compared to everyone else. Though I will say I'm not sure what is the Loa that was mentioned in that description, which are in AI, brand new AI faction. Like they're actually AI in the lore, and they do like shape. Wow, shape shifting nonsense. With their ships, it's kind of weird. They're the only ones I really run into that. I'm not sure what tech they're using, but they have a weird tech that I don't know what the weapon even looks like because there's so much going on like in the midst of combat. But it hits one of my ships, and then my ship crew just starts dying, a crewmate per second, and then suddenly the ship just is a ghost ship just floating through space empty. I can't figure out what it is they keep hitting me with. Words are hard, just be a stripper. Yeah, I know, right? Thinking about it. I mean, it worked for Ruckus. Bet I can pull it off. Been working on my core strength lately. It's not even a joke. I've actually been working on my core strength a lot lately. I'm like, you know what? Getting rid of this gut. I've gotten rid of the gut. Now I want some abs. Because why not? May as well. Just keep going. Doing what I'm doing. I know, right? Okay, between a lot of you and me, main reason, actually, because I live with my parents. They're hyper religious, like problematically so. Dude, I got no scruples. Me personally, if I lived alone, all over it. I got no shame in that regard. And I'd probably do well too. It's a weird. It's a weird what do you call it? Catch-22. I could definitely get my own place if I could do that, but I can't do that because I don't have my own place. So I gotta figure out a different way. Next step on these pouches, that's gonna be Skeleton Horde contrast. The Skeleton Horde contrast is just gonna be a top coat on like the whole thing. Actually, scratch that. I've messed up a step in this. And I still pull it off. I do it carefully. Normally what I do is I'd put a little bit of Nuln Oil right around the bottom of the pouch lip and around the button. And add some depth to it. Also, I should do the cap on there. The steel cap on there, because that takes Nuln Oil as well anyway. And because I'm in Nuln Oil, I should probably do the highlighting on all the black soft seals and the belts and stuff, because that all is Nuln Oil as well. So, getting all stuff ready for now. TikTok trend where guys making the jokes away was not high enough. Okay. There's a TikTok trend where guys were making a joke that their wife was hot enough to retire them both, but had morals, and I spent a week just messing around, sending them to... That's funny. What am I doing? Lead Belcher. I gotta get through all this Lead Belcher I got. Like, I've moved up to liking Army War Painter Metallics way better, but I have, like, multiple pots of Lead Belcher that I'm trying to just run through with this commission as much as I can. Fortunately, this commission doesn't use a whole lot of Lead Belcher, but I'm trying. Morals. What are those? Roadblocks, I believe. No idea. I haven't got a. Son of a... So anyway, yeah, I like the first game, Sword of the Stars. Probably my favorite game of all time. That's mostly backed by the fact that I am still playing something related to it, and have been off and on for like 15 years. And have, easily thousands of hours over multiple versions of owning it. Like, I originally had a PC copy, and got the Steam one. I don't even want to know how many hours on the Steam one. Not as many as on the PC one, on the disc one, to be honest. But yeah, it's nuts. But through all that, still I've never actually played against a person. I'm fascinated to know what that would look like. I'd probably actually have to use electronic warfare stuff for one. Because, stealth is definitely a thing. And I have never had to worry about it because AI don't use it. In fact, there's a whole range of tech that I've just decided I will not use because it just makes the game like still too easy. Because the AI just can't counter it. Even in the first game that was completely finished and like ready to go. Like stealth breaks them. Emitters, too powerful. Emitters are a type of weapon that's just literally a lightning gun that will then jump to other ships, and the damage is actually decent. And on top of that, the small ones, the small turret emitters, work as point defense. So you don't have to research point defense. You don't have to research, like, really, with enough ships in a fleet, you really don't need any other guns than just emitters. You can just have, like, small emitters, medium emitters, large emitters. That's all you really need. Torpedoes and large missiles for, like, really long-range stuff, just to, like, soften them up before you get there. Besides that, like, emitters would do everything for you. But I don't use them anymore. They're too good. What am I getting tagged in? I'm getting tagged on Discord. We got a Discord, by the way, if you're not in it. Command Discord. Also, I actually put something special in the Discord and model showcase last night. Challenge is more fun. Well, yeah, I mean, when I say challenge is more, when you say challenge is more fun, I mean, like, you can't lose. Like, it's not even, like, it's not that it makes it easy. It's just an auto win. The same thing with stealth. You get a bunch of stealth ships with a bunch of emitters, like, you're not losing that game. Just period. Like, you will win every battle. Because they can only see you and thus only target you when you're shooting. Which means you'll be in range of all of your guns before you start shooting, and then they're screwed. Oh, thanks, man. You know, that's completely scratch built. Like it has some bits, but like, it's not like I just made that. You want to know the real secret sauce? The poles? The poles are Q-tips. Like they're Q-tips with the ends clipped off. It's the angriest Q-tips you've ever seen. Oh yeah, well yeah. All the chain you see on my stuff is jewel chain. Yeah. Also, it has as bits from a bunch of my local players' armies. If you look on front, like, okay, so it has a Word Bearer helmet, an Iron Warriors helmet, and a Necron carcass. And Necron carcass painted like my local one of my local Necron players' armies, like his color scheme. So I haven't showed it to them yet. Probably Wednesday, because today was the White Scar. After this stream, I'm going to be making the White Armor tutorial. That's going up tomorrow, and that tank image and its other angles will go up everywhere else. on Wednesday. So Wednesday's gonna be wild. Where everyone finally gets to see that thing that I've been working on for like a cumulative like 2 months. No, 3 months. Nearly 3 months in total. Yeah, I could put Dawnstone on the soft seals and Null Oil and everything. Getting distracted. Oh, you know what part of this? I need a bathroom break. Which is about right, it's 3 o'clock. Half time. Hit the toilets, grab snacks, grab drinks. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Alright, what we got? Dawnstone. Thank you, Zombie. What was I just thinking of something. Oh, okay. So, jumping. So, earlier said you like tanking games. What do you say is your preferred style tanking? Aggressive tanking. Wall or enough health to be a boss. Well, probably the enough health things. Like I just said, I like aggressive tanking. I like being tanky enough I can run into the opponents and just wreak havoc. Like large armor stat or more health bar. Probably. I suppose it depends on the game, because armor sometimes is like way better, and sometimes the health is way better. If, okay, for example, if the game has like accessible lifesteal, for example, I'll take the health bar. Some games, like, okay, Elden Ring or like Dark Souls and stuff, they have shields that completely negate damage. So like that'll be alongside with, say, poise, so you can't get knocked over. So if you have a big shield, you negate damage and can't get knocked over, so you can just stay like that. Then I'd take that, because I can just deny. Denying outright is really amusing to me. D&D, if I'm gonna be a tank, I would do it through, well, I do like the concept of running in hard with a huge amount of health, Barbarian, because I can be aggressive. However, that being said, I have enjoyed my cleric that doesn't have the most health in the party, but he is the tank because he has heavy armor, has a shield, and he's a life domain, so every time he heals anyone, it heals him. So, especially with a lot of... And he likes area of effect stuff centered on him, like Spirit Guardians and stuff. So, he just runs into the thick of it. He is like the most aggressive healer you've ever seen. To the point it started affecting his actual personality. Like the other party members comment on it, like, dude, you have become like bloodthirsty. And I'm like, have you seen the nonsense we have dealt with? We have only tried to do the right thing. We are level 11. We have seen some nonsense. We have gone betrayed. We've gone backstabbed. We've gotten like assassins sent after us. And I mean like not like dudes with daggers in an alley. No. I'm talking arcane capable, like James Bourne CIA level with magic next to clinically insane assassins that dropped like entire city barracks on our heads with the city garrison trying to kill us, that can resurrect each other like type assassins. Like, you know, no, we have friends, we know who those are. Everyone else, you're on thin ice. There's this great zombie zombie. I was looking at a name. I had a buddy that played a short human life cleric. Dude, that's literally my character. The charts for healing. First one was always free. Everything after costs money. That's funny. I have worked early on. I did go to temples on occasion and did put out some healing for pay. And I was playing a lady half-orc totem barbarian. Never had to pay because we made Jugday's character have mommy issues. Oh, jeez. That's funny. But yeah, actually, my guy is a short human. I have a weird thing about playing characters that are taller than me in real life. It just feels weird. The only time I've really done is when I literally got transformed into this large-sized creature and then stayed that way for a while. But, so... My cleric is a 5'5" human. It's the only character I've played that wasn't short. Yeah, fair. So I'm a 5'5" human in splint armor. It's like it's the one armor class below full plate. Half splint or whatever. He's got a shield. He's got a mace. He originally used a scythe, no shield, and it was actually a holy relic, and that was taken from him during a betrayal. That also involved those assassins that nearly wiped the party. Got real close to wiping the party. Yeah, 16 AC. I am at 18 AC. Yeah, because the splint plus the shield. Yeah, I don't have really much in the way of enchanted weapons. This party doesn't get magic items for very long. Stuff keeps happening to our magic items. So, we mostly depend on the magic we can conjure ourselves. In fact, the magical items we've managed to hold on to the longest either are not directly useful to us. Like, I'm still carrying this Sword of Roaches. Its thing is that it can turn into a swarm of cockroaches once a day, and I can control it for like an hour. And that's it. And I can't use it because it's a sword. It's a long sword. It's a martial weapon. I'm a cleric. And what's worse is that it makes you feel like bugs are crawling all over you. So everyone else in the party hates it. But I'm a cleric of a scorpion goddess. So I'm like, nah, this is cool. I'm just gonna keep on this. I'm just gonna hold on to it just because I have 16 strength, so I can carry whatever I want. It's actually been a long-running thing that my, that character, he's also the, like, tool jockey. He doesn't have a lot of proficiencies, but what he has is, like, everything that doesn't require proficiency, he has in his backpack somewhere. He has, like, a siege camp, basically, for a backpack, including a portable ram. He always has a portable ram. He always has like a shovel, a pickaxe, some rope, some chain, a crowbar, a hammer. Actually, I have a couple hammers, because I can throw them. Just cause. I don't know why. I have a 3d8, what is that? Hold, I forgot my cantrip. I've been using this cantrip for 7 years, and I forgot what it's called. Sacred Flame. I have Sacred Flame. I have 3d8. I have extra hammers that I can throw. Why? I don't know. So, like, yeah, like, I want to hold onto this longsword that I can't use. Why not? I have 16 strength. Who cares? We don't even have a bag of holding. We have me. Yeah, 16 strength, but, like, 20 wisdom. Oh, I also have... I have 14 int or 16 int? I don't know, my guy's smart, too. Because he actually is next noble. But, last character I played before the group fell apart was basically like Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger was a war criminal. That sounds like my, that sounds like my Artificer. Because he used turrets. He used turrets and explosives and gun. Well, he didn't have guns, but he had like a hand crossbow that was basically like a submachine gun. Dude, if I lined it up right, I could get 4 shots off that crossbow in a turn at like level 6. It was dumb. Didn't do a lot of damage per shot, but four shots. Just because like action economy. Yay. I don't know if I like this track, but it's about to end anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Alright, we're ready for the non-oil now. Okay, so here's how aggressive my cleric is. We're in this big boss fight against these things called the Touched, which I've talked about this fight before on the channel, so people might be hearing this before, or I've heard this before. Like hulked out tieflings. Think of it that way. Like they have demonic. They have demon blood that makes them go insane and hulk out like super massive with like magic. But they could turn a bunch of different ways based on like their personality and stuff. So we're up against like a minotaur dude, a spider dude, this giant flying worm thing, and this like shape-shifting bone one. And they're minimum large size each. I'm next to, I think, our sorcerer. And a sorcerer gets run down by the Minotaur. I jump on the Minotaur, just hitting him with my mace, because we have, like, no magic left. We're on, like, cantrips and our weapons. Which is not great for, like, me and the sorcerer in particular. At least I'm wearing a bunch of armor. The sorcerer's just, like, screwed. Cantrips and hope. Yeah. No, this had been a multi-tier boss fight with, like, a total of, like, 6 bosses. That we had a small army with us of, like, elite operatives and specialists and elite military formations to fight these things. It was a massive deal. There was, like, 150 NPCs involved in this fight. That's how big these things, like, how big of a threat these things are. We're in melee with one of them right now, and just the 2 of us. Sorcerer's on the ground being beat to crap by the Mentor. I'm, like, on the Mentor's shoulder, hitting it. The bone one leaps over us, transforms into, like, this birdcage thing, lands around us, traps us in. I'm like, ha! Now you're stuck in here with me! I can't miss! Bush! And I'm just keep whacking away. Like, once the fighting starts, my cleric is... He turns into a barbarian. He doesn't have rage, but he would like to. I could give him rage, I know, I can multi-class, but then if we do actually hit level 20, I don't get to auto, like, divine intervene. And from the looks of things, we might hit that point before this campaign ends. This campaign has really turned into, like, kind of an epic campaign. The type of strings... Ah, the bloody ASMR. I don't know how they're in this. This is in a playlist made by Epidemic Sound. I can't figure out what category they're in until I remove the category. Anyway. So, like, we said level 15 mile, which is the highest I've ever made it. That's higher than me. That's a level 11. It's the highest I've ever made it. Yeah. So my DM for this campaign is like world crafter. Like, I mean, and like realistic world crafter. Like this guy swears like on a level of Matt Mercer. I'm not joking. He does amazing voices, and the map is it's all homebrew. Everything is homebrew. The map, the people, the lore of it. He does these thick plots. I mean, like, thick plots. Like, right now, like, last night, our session was 3 hours, and the entire thing was spent planning around, negotiating, and then planning after. Before next session, we finished negotiations with an elder hag, that has most of the Empire basically held hostage. The Empire doesn't even know it. Like, the Empire at large has no idea. Oop, I just dropped my brush. Just flat out dropped it. And we're trying to figure out how to get... Like, she wants out. She wants back to the Feywild. Feywild's closed off because there was something from our plane, and we're pretty sure we know what it is. Messing with the Feywild in really bad ways. Fey Queen's like, nope, no one's coming in or out. Hag wants to go back. We want her gone because she and her sisters, one of which we already killed, are trying to or have resurrected 2 out of 3. Not resurrected, created? I don't know. These like animuses, god seeds, things that can turn into deities. If they consume enough soul matter by eating it. Literally. Eating things. People. More power the better. We already took care of one pair. Granny and Muddy. And her grandpappy, as they call them. Call them grandpappies. We call them god seeds or animuses. They're like really large humanoids. Like are they large? Yeah, I think they're large sized humanoids. Massive strength, massive speed, healing factors, powers based upon those that help the hags bring them into our reality. They're kind of nuts. She's got one on a dead man's switch, while also having... This one's called Granny Dusty, because... You know what? You don't want to know why she's called Granny Dusty. But anyway, she has... Let's call it pollen. We'll call it pollen. Or dust. We'll call it dust. She has dust. She can use to control people. That she's infected most of the Empire with. But not, like, enough that she could just zombify the entire Empire. It's more like she has enough that she's been able to coalesce into a few key people. But enough that she can cause massive amounts of damage. I mean, bring the Empire to its knees. So we're negotiating with her. Us 3 players, the Archmage of the Imperial Arcane University, and a troop of 100 elite specialist combatants, mages, clerics, war priests, etc., etc. Do you really want to know Venom? Okay, I'll tell you Venom. It's Dandruff. It's Fey Dandruff. It's flat out Fey Dandruff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. These are three Elder Hag sisters, Muddy, Dusty, and Rusty. Rusty's kind of gotten her stuck somewhere where she's not really a threat. We could take her out anytime we want. Muddy, we fought. Flat out. Yeah, it's dandruff. It's like metric tons of fey dandruff from her, just her. It's just her, and literally her dandruff. Yep, that's what we're doing. That's what we're dealing with right now. This plot thickens so much harder. By the way, we know what's causing the problem with the fey. It's also our problem because it's this. Now that the pouches and stuff are done. Actually, no, I didn't. I never put the now that the no-nos on there, I can put the skeleton horde. That'll smooth it on. I know, right? That did come up. That if only that was a thing. So here's the thing. She's taken over an area called the Dusted Vale. Was it Dusted Vale? Something like that. Which was this big forest that had this other fey spirit in it that was not dandruff, but did cause this weird snow-like dust that covered, like, everything. But it was nowhere near as nefarious as before. It was just kind of a thing. It was like a tourist destination. Then she got eaten by Dusty when she came over, and Dusty took on her appearance for a while she got her animus thing figured out. Yeah. So she's got this whole forest that she can just basically, like, teleport around as she wants. Well, yeah, I mean, hags. Hey, you should have seen some stuff Muddy did to us in that process. We got involved in all this because Muddy, like, basically kidnapped us off the side of the road and forced us to be part of the ritual that caused her animus to come into our world, which chained us to it, basically, like, you know, arcanely. And in the process, actually sneaked into us these, like, weird fey seed pouch things that actually kept us from leveling up for, like, way too long. And also gave her, like, complete tracking ability over us. It was super sneaky. I want to play a hag now. I want to play a villain campaign. That's what I want. Totally fair. This is still only, like, half the story, by the way. This is only half the plot. During this whole thing, there's this halfling. Tandy Nasty is his actual name, I swear to God. He has a sister. I don't remember her name. Something Nasty. Nasty twins. Tandy's the head one, though. Halflings in this setting are basically all gangsters. Like, just straight up. They are mobsters. Like, all the halflings are straight up mobsters. Their main city, which name escapes me. I keep thinking Haycott. It's not Haycott. Anyway. My homebrew player is also fighting a necromancer bog hack currently too in her group of assassins. Oh yeah, fun. That sounds like a combo of stuff I'm dealing with. So Tandy came up from a rough area. Where, you know, the halfling city is all full of, like, crime syndicates and stuff. He, out of nowhere, like, no one knew who he was at all until somebody came out with this whole company selling Tandy wands, which is basically arcane wands of between cantrip and level 4 power spells. I know level 4, they're super expensive at level 4. But super expensive for his line. Really cheap wands. Like, Farmer Joe can buy a wand of prestidigitation. So obviously he's making bank. Like, nutso. So much money. He like, straight up bought his way into becoming a lord, which gives him all kinds of, like straight up, like, immunity and stuff from different things. Like, you can't talk bad about lords. It is, like, illegal. It's like rough. We got caught up in his little personal vengeance campaign, basically, because we were working for a guy who turned out to be the target's brother, and Yeah, so he tried killing us. Then we survived. So then he framed an entire massacre on us, like of an entire cork plantation. Framed on us. We were on the lam for like 6 months. We also lost all our magical items, including my holy relic staff. Not staff, scythe. The whole thing, real bad. I even declared an oath of vengeance on him. Not like a paladin, but like because my goddess, one of her domains is vengeance. So yeah, that's the thing. Turns out, how he's able to make these super inexpensive wands is through this process, this thing called face stones. I don't know if this is a homebrew thing or not. This might not even be a real thing, but like a normal thing. But here's what we've just learned. Yeah, exactly. You'll end up on a milk carton. Yeah, no, it's real. Face stones is when a fey creature dies with 1 foot in the material realm and the fey realm. Their soul kind of turns into this gem called a fey stone, which has massive arcane power because the processes of like the soul trying to do its thing between the fey and the material realm, which are completely different processes, just causes a lot of arcane disruption. We now believe that that's how he's artificially making face stones and then using fragments of them to make his Tandy wands, and it's messing up the Feywilds and yada yada yada. So we gotta deal with that eventually. Anyway, while also there are still further details as to the complications of our relationship with this Tandy halfling punk. Like somehow he managed to get us to agree to a deal that we know we definitely would have agreed to within our normal personality parameters, but we have no memory of what the deal was. But there exists a deal, and it wasn't to not kill him, because I never would have agreed to that. It wasn't to kill tons of innocent people, because none of us would have agreed to that. But something we did agree to, in good conscience, with him, lost some memory of. There's something with that going on, too. It's just... oh. So, what this... we learned all this about the Face Stone because that's what Dusty wants. Dusty wants us to remain status quo. We're not messing with each other. We're not going and invading her realm while she's messing with the entire empire. And she's got a dead man switch on the God Seed, which is hidden somewhere. We get her a Fey Stone so she can then slip into the Feywild and escape without the Fey Queen knowing about it. And we're like, okay, well, one of our options could be just removing the original problem, and then the Fey Queen being ticked at the hag about the whole Godseed thing, because she doesn't like that, by the way. That's her problem. Like, no. So our party was, I'm a cleric, we have a sorcerer, we have a ranger that was also a warlock, lost his warlock levels because one of his, his patron was actually Granny Muddy, and then he actually got the final blow on her. That was pretty funny. And then a Mousefolk fighter. Mousefolk fighter unfortunately had to leave. Our character's still sitting around. We also have one of those assassins I mentioned, the crazy one with all the magic. We have one of them because they're all sisters. We have one in our party as an NPC. Real complicated story. That's what I mean. Everything is so complicated. Like, so many intricate, interweaving layers. It's nuts. Our sorcerer keeps very good notes because he's a DM, and like his log on this like 6-year campaign is like literally larger than most novels. It is absurd. That's what I mean. Like this guy is like Matt Mercer level DM. I'm so appreciative of his DM, and I'm also very saddened that we never made this like a internet shared or recorded thing, because good lord, we could be, I would be willing to bet we could legitimately compete with maybe not critical role, but like a lot of the people just underneath them in the D&D space. Like this campaign's nuts. This is not run in and kill the things. This is like that battle that had us down to cantrips and hope, as you put, Zombie, lasted like 6 sessions. 6 3 to 4 hour sessions. No, longer than that. It was longer than that. It was like 8 sessions. It was 8 sessions. Started with a boss fight against the other hag of just the party, then moved on to helping this actual army, deal with the touched, the crazy tiefling that involved elite formations of the Empire's military. They're elite men in arms that have new flintlock, maybe not flintlocks, but like muskets. The Griffin Riders, multiple covens of druids gathered for war. The entire fighting contingent of the Imperial Arcane University. So like 150 odd like NPCs of specialists, and this is only one front of this multi-front campaign that's happening. It's also the largest mercenary company in the Empire, with its like nearly 200 veteran fighters performing a siege on other touched to the north. We're like right in the middle of all of this because we actually brought a lot of this together. There were arcane nukes engaged. I mean, mushroom clouds. Actual mushroom clouds occurred in this war. We had explosive zombies thrown at us in swarms of like the 40s, which we had to defend. We were defending an airstrip from explosive zombies that were like literally running packs of C4, like uprooting and throwing trees. And these zombies were civilians all of like 3 days ago, and we're just in the wrong place, wrong time. So we are flying down after this exhausting fight that took all of our magic against this hag and nearly killed us. Took down the hag, get picked up by the Royal Griffin Riders, fly down through this dynamic breaking the trees, like the trees part to show an airstrip. We land on the airstrip. We are just dismounting from these griffins when this swarm of zombies explode through the barricades of like brambles around it, and us, the druids and the Griffin Riders, like you have this moment with this Griffin Rider with the Griffin, bang backwards, Griffin Rider shooting off his musket at a zombie. I'm throwing Sacred Flame. Our rangers knocking down 3 of them at once with the thorn explosive shot. Our sorcerers sending lightning. I think it wasn't using shock and grass because you can't get close to these things. They will kill you. Like you will die. And these druids just reforming the earth itself to fight these things. Well, I'm not joking. Trees are flying through the air. Like, this is Band of Brothers. We're on the beaches of Saving Private Ryan right now. And we have like no magic left. We are down to scrolls being like handed to us because they knew we would be so like worn out. And from there, we then move on to the real fight against the touched with like arcane artillery barrages and chemical weapons and arcane nukes. Like, what even? Bro, you got a spot for one more. I'd kill to have a boss fight last 8 sessions. It was like 5 bosses. Just out here slamming Normandy in the truest Churchill fashion. It was, man. It was. If we had any amphibious anything going on, it would have been like straight up like D-Day. We changed the geography for like half of a forest in that fight. A quarter of that forest no longer exists. Another part of it is now horrifically tainted, and another part is full of potholes and some lava. There's some lava happening. There are no volcanoes here, but there's some lava happening. It wasn't us that did it either. Like this was um there were discussions in a D&D game about air superiority. Like, hmm, we've ascended to a new level. This is not your average D&D campaign anymore. um he talks about air superiority while like under the flashes of arcane artillery hitting an arcane bubble shield. Um and being told about how if we use our concentration slot, we get like constant radar vision with true sight because the archmage is doing nonsense, like, you know. Yeah, you need it, right? This is what I mean. Like, we should have had this like recorded or something. People need to see this. This was this is I can't get enough of it. Like, I know. So actually, here's the thing. We might be looking for a new person somewhat soon. We have to wrap up a couple of these threads that specifically involve the player that left due to story reasons. And then once they're gone, I think we will probably be looking for a new one because, you know, let's design an HB class just so I can be artificer with less bullcrap. Yeah, you have to talk with our GM about, but if you can explain how stuff functions, he's usually pretty good about that stuff. Like I've pulled some crap. I love engineering. Well, it was actually with him. Okay. This is how awesome this guy is. So we had to take a massive break for COVID because our ranger character, the player's a nurse. So obviously he's not doing any D&D anything like in the midst of like the height of COVID. So we took a short break, and then the other three of us started a side campaign that happened 60 years before. I think it was 60 years before, where two of us independently chose Artificer, by the way, with completely different kinds of Artificers, so it worked. And then the Mousefolk Fire chose a monk, this dwarven monk. So his Artificer was, think like the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, like giant metallic diving suit, like diving bell suit. That was his armor. And he had a bunch of like weird nonsense that would come out of the armor. And then my guy was he was a mix of Milo from okay, he was Milo from Atlantis the Lost City, the masterpiece animation movie. I Will Die on a Hill. He was Milo from there, but he had the personality and a lot of the personality faults of Rick from Rick and Morty. Effectively, he wasn't as smart as Rick, to be fair. He was a lot closer to Milo now. Like, he was realistic like intelligence, but like, so he was still like, you know, prodigious engineer, and he used to work as a arms developer for the Empire, and then had this really like secretive black ops, like super redacted story about him getting thrown out through a betrayal, and now it's like in semi-exile, just trying to live. And he's also like a drunkard. He's like super alcoholic. Mentioning Atlantis some reason makes me want to play Treasure Planet style. Oh, that'd be awesome. Treasure, like straight up as Treasure Planet universe. Like, it's like weird steampunk. Yeah, no, I'm for it. Well, that's close to what happened, because almost this entire campaign ended up on the ocean somewhere. Like, we're contracted by the old Archmage, the one before the one we know, because this is the same world, same kingdom, same everything. It's just 50, 60 years before. And I completely lost track of time. What time is it? 3:40? Oh, we're good. We're playing good. I still intend on doing that like half hour at the end of the Sword of Stars, just to show it off. Just because I feel like it. But after the normal painting session. So we were contracted to go on this mission, go on this boat, super secret. Go to this island that had this group of like archivists that had what they would do. They were completely neutral of any nation, and what they were used for is confidants for like the most deep black ops knowledge. As a store, because they had special magic stuff that allowed them to remember everything but also lock it away, so like you couldn't force it out of them under any means. It was this whole thing, but it was a dying order. And it was only like there's only one left that was known of, and we needed him. We had to go there and get him, and he's a super old dude, like about to die of old age. So we had to go there, get him, bring him back. Easy, right? Oh dear God, no. The process of that campaign, we had our ship almost immediately blown up by a foreign navy power. Defense quest's always easy. Yeah. That's how this works. Washed up on the wrong island. Had to get off that island to the correct island. Had to make friends with this tribe of Goliaths. And their single, non-giant inhabitant, who was this one-armed, completely insane dude. I mean, insane dude. Actually, like, mentally insane. Who then turned out to be, like, one of the most powerful people in the area. It was really funny. That castle was full of, horrific experiments involving time and memory and living crystal things that wanted to beat your head in. Oh, also, it had been taken over by vampires, and we were also dealing with a conquistador-style invasion force of that enemy navy that sunk us. That was after the same dude, led by basically the equivalent of, like, think like 40k Inquisitor, like a guy like that. Same, like, kind of power, both politically and like actual, like, his arcane ability is like nuts. So we're just trying to slip in between this war between the vampires and this Inquisitor dude. That was not the worst of it. Oh yeah, we also like aged like an entire year within a day. That was a thing. Yeah. The worst of it was on our way back, where turns out half the stuff we had been dealing with, half of the magical items we've been dealing with this whole time that we just picked up along the way because of this reason or that. First, we ignore the shuffling bushes. Yeah. Oh no, this was inside of a giant keep that we were slipping within that was also crumbling because of arcane nonsense. I mean, literally falling apart. Oh, it was also under cannon bombardment from that Inquisitor's ship while the troops are inside it. And it's got its own traps. And it's just... what? So we had like 3 Eldritch Horrors in magic items, effectively? No. How do I explain this? There was this guy. There was this guy. One of the most powerful mages of his time. He kept having visions of this thing coming from the outer dark. It was gonna mess everyone up. The full, like, the Eldritch Horrors, abominations, nonsense. And everyone was like, you've gone crazy, you've done terrible things trying to, like, keep this invasion at bay that we're not even sure is real. Like, if Commander Shepard, from Mass Effect, did, like, horrific war crimes and had magic. So there was this guy, such a good follow-up to asking how you explain having Eldritch Horrors. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean, man. That's how that's how every one of this guy's campaigns go. So there's this guy. Or, like, you know, an equivalent beginning of an explanation. So they have to completely remove this guy from existence, but he's so powerful that actually they can only break him apart, and now he has, like, several pieces scattered around the world in, like, vaults and hidden in, like, dungeons and stuff. Because if he ever came back together, it would be, like, absolutely awful. Yeah, it was like this one time a band kept calling for D&D. Yeah, exactly. So these are the pieces of Kivalax. I know, such a great BBEG name. The Pieces of Kivalax. This was when we learned we had some of the pieces of Kivalax. And learn what they did when the lung tried to eat the other artificer. And the sword was sucking in the souls of both one of our main allies and that Inquisitor dude that later became one of our allies into this Cthulhuan like pocket dimension that overlapped ours when you looked through this one mirror we had on ship. Because oh yeah, we took the Inquisitor's ship. We pulled a Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and jumped on his ship to leave the island, killed all his men and took their ship, which was actually one of the flagship, like developmental flagships of the enemy empire's navy. With experimental weapons on it. And a mirror that you looked into it with the sword in the mirror and you could see all the souls that the sword was kind of holding on to, including our friends. It was... Oh, and also tentacles happening. Yeah, because why not? Then the lung. That was the other one. We had another one. The lung just turned into a monster and tried to eat us. We bashed that thing back down to whatever originally, like, its original shape was. I don't know. This is all, I forget the time you almost caught Captain Jax, but yes, there was a fair bit of, like, Pirates of the Caribbean happening in this campaign. It was amazing. You know why this is all, like, actually extra horrifying? Because a while before that, like a good year and a half before that, we were just the original party, like my cleric party, was trekking through a forest. We came upon this weird clearing in the forest. I mean, like a perfect circle, a big one. And we noticed, I forget how we noticed this, but like just beneath the ground was just almost nothing but bones. I mean, an absurd amount of bones. Like this battlefield, but like this an ancient battlefield, but way worse. This is like 7 battlefields, like hard, big battlefields just on top of each other to make this amount of bones. And then almost in the middle of it, I found through a detect magic, this box. It's a box. A black ornate box. Tons of magical energy. We learned this thing is called a Hellward box. That's fine. That's fine. You know what else is fine? You know what else is fine? The fact that we, besides me with my high wisdom, people that slept near it started getting really weird nightmares. Especially about opening the box. And, we learned later, guess what's inside this box? The Hearts of Kivalax. Well, that means nothing to us at the time. We played that side campaign. The amount of concern that began to arise as we learned, as those characters, not our current characters, those characters learned about the background of who Kivalax was, what he did, what he could do, what his pieces could do, saw what his pieces could do, and had to kill his pieces because his pieces were trying to kill us. We had 3 of them on this one ship. And then remember that we had the hearts in a box in my backpack for like a year in-game. Just cuz. Not a year. It was like 3 or 4 months. That felt like a couple years. Actually, it was a year for the outside world because we ended up in a cave that had time shenanigans in it. Again, there's a lot of time shenanigans going on. Yes. Yeah, no, I had a gum barter plate, picked up a curse gem, and spoke to me in my head. And I thought he was my friend. That's always a great phrase. I thought he was my friend. 'Cause Goblin. I mean, Tandy Nasty, for a very brief amount of time, my character starting to respect him because we were working alongside him for like a good week leading up to when he betrayed us. This is Agrex Earthshade. I think the other ones I might have done Skeleton Horde. I don't remember now. So I'm gonna do this. This will be fine. It doesn't look too massively different. It'll be okay. It was a demon? Of course it was a demon. I like Tandy Nasty. Not a demon, he's a halfling, but may as well be. He's also gonna be dead. Because I am going to kill him. Remember you saying something about Skeleton Horde. I think he did use... Well, I used it on the pouches. I mean on the other, purity seals in the army. But I think I've jumped between them a few different times. You know what? Fine. It's fine. It's fine. They use different paper. They don't all use the same exact paper all the time. I don't know. It's fine. No one will notice. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Well, whatever. It's okay. You know what is okay? The Hellward box in my backpack. Yeah, it's just a model-to-model consistency thing. It's I keep forgetting which one I use for my purity seals. It's whatever. It's completely okay. My client definitely won't notice. He definitely doesn't watch these either. Nothing could go wrong with that box. No. We did manage to pass off that box when we told the Archmage what it was. You know what gets even better, by the way? I forgot about this. You know that ally I mentioned that gets sucked into the sword? We got him out. You know who that turned out to be? That was our current Archmage. Back when he was a lowly agent for the, not lowly. He was still, like, really good. But back when he was an agent, in his agent days. That was our Archmage that we've been working with for, like, 4 years worth of real-life campaign. And we were all like, it's him! He's always been a Chad. It's so good. This guy is such a good DM, man. It's been you the whole time. Oh yeah, he was under a different name. He was undercover. We didn't learn who he actually was until we were like on that Pirates of the Caribbean-esque escape. Like after going through the tunnels, like we learned he was a mage. Like we knew he could use magic, but we learned his actual name like way in. It gets better still. It keeps getting better. Just Okay, so before we can call this mission a success and like actually fix this, we have to stop. Let's see, how'd this work? We had to make we went back to one of the ports of the Empire where they had to pull I forget what they called it, but they had to evacuate the entire city and have it filled with troops and stuff ready for anything, which is good because the piece of Kevlax definitely pulled some nonsense. We had a whole fight that involved... Are you ready for this? The Archmage, back in his day, didn't work alone most of the time. He was part of an adventuring party who we knew a lot of its older members in the original campaign. There was a captain of the guard. She's awesome. The head of that giant mercenary company I mentioned. Also awesome. The Hand of the King. Hate that guy. Everyone hates him. All used to be part of this adventuring party. We meet up with his adventuring party, fight alongside him, see the younger ones in action, and then get taken by the Archmage of the time, the old Archmage, to an island with the pieces of Kevlax to put them in a secure place in this abandoned island where there's a bunch of magic involved. That sucks us, the three of us, into the island, and then we become its guardians through this weird conscious melding thing that we can't leave. But we do hear before the campaign camera goes black, Alminster, that's the Archmage's name, promise us he will fix this. He will find a way to fix this, that we do not have to be sacrificed to guard these things. This means, in theory, what that was a, hey, guys, it's possible your current characters might meet your side campaign characters. That could be a thing. The nerdgasms, man. The nerdgasms. I can't even. Like, Drunk Rick / Milo Artificer that makes cannons meets super aggressive cleric. Oh lord. Yeah, Can you imagine thinking Dave is just a dude and all of a sudden he's like, I'm Morden Canaan. I can't. Yeah. It was more like this guy named, yeah, actually, it was something close to Dave. I've been lying. And he's like, oh, my name is actually Almonster. And all of a sudden, like, just brain explodes. You know what's also terrible is that the one that we hate, it's the Hand of the King. And we, like, legitimately hate this guy. As a young dude, he was pretty cool. He's kind of cocky, pretty cool. I liked him. But nah, he gave in to like the politicking like too hard, became too Black Ops. Ugh. So a lot of D&D talk. I went into this stream being like, I'm gonna talk about Destiny and how I'm like back into it. I love it. I've barely talked about Destiny at all. It's pretty funny. We are coming up on the end of this, so I'm thinking I'm gonna take another. My bad. It's all your fault, zombie. No, it's good. This is a lot of fun. This has probably been one of my most fun streams. Not gonna lie. So yeah. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pause the painting, but it'll be okay. I paint a lot less than I normally would because I was talking, emoting. It's all good. Totally fine with that. I like it. So tonight we're gonna pick up on the white armor on this if I don't finish this piece between streams, but I have to make that tutorial. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go take another bathroom break. I'm always deaf on the shoulders, but you won't need the chair because I'll do his job too. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm fine with this arrangement. I'm gonna go take another quick bathroom break, and then we're gonna do about a half hour or so of me messing around with that Sword of Stars that showed off the zombie. But the painting part of this is done. I enjoyed the listening of the D&D stories. Good to hear, Venom. There's plenty more in this campaign. This is just all like the main beats. There's so much more going on in here that I've probably forgotten. Like, like our first mission with the memory altering cave and a domesticated gnoll, and then we had the giant talking snake that besieged the city. We had the frog god encounter. There's the where we had to convince a river to stop being a prick, and then it killed it. The whole river. When I gained title, the gift from above, and then immediately lost that title. And all the backstory of our assassin buddy that we're still learning. There's so much. Blew up. I stabbed the ocean, man. I got so lost. I forgot I was working on stuff. That's what I did. I got so lost and I forgot I was painting. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do the bathroom break. And then when I come back, we're gonna play around with some spaceships. So if you want to hang around for that, awesome. If not, thanks for coming. The painting is done for now. We'll resume the painting tonight in 4 hours from now. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Move my stuff around. Our DM tip I just thought of, because you said you split between combat players and exploration players. Mimics. Put mimics everywhere. Mimics everywhere. That's evil, man. You think this is Dark Souls? Right. That would definitely force players to explore. Like, no joke. That's correct. Hi. Camera in the face. My Vegeta hairline. Actually, spiked all this up. Actually, be able. Going to have hair. Explorer players. The combat players will want to explore, and explorer players get to explore without having to keep it short for the combat players. There you go. Legit. This Claire campaign, most of it's just talking. It's not even doing anything. Because we're trying to plot around the DM's plots. Because so many plots. Plot. Oh yeah, my mic was up, so that might have come in muffled. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know, my mic's on. So many plots. So we're trying to plot around their plots, so that he can plot around our plots, and then we should plot around their plots. Really. It's basically literally that. Alright, so I turned off the music, because this game actually has a pretty banging soundtrack. Where do you like plots? We got plots in our plots, in your plots. Yeah, and then you got to plot around that. And also, memory and time shenanigans on top of that. Deal with that. You got plots? Now it's been, 3 days for you and 6 months for everyone else. Where's your plot now? That literally happened. Like, just... I'm already a goldfish! Alright, so getting the game up, which you'll start hearing the sound for it in a second. Hopefully it's not... Oh, actually, no, it doesn't matter if it's super loud, because I got limited in OBS. I have to figure out OBS how I'm going to capture the screen of this nicely. I had that thing I used for the Enlisted stream, which didn't really do very well, but that's fine. Intelligence is dumb stat anyways. Oh, not here. You want them history checks, so you know what's going on. Alright, let me see if this works. You know what? No, that didn't quite work. Oh, this is out of place. Maybe that? No. Okay, you know what? I'll just keep it with this, and I'll just use the normal window capture thing. That I normally do. It'll be a little on the small end, but I don't want to completely screw up my whole thing. I will have to mess with the cropping and everything a little bit. Hold on. I was just telling basically the other day, I had my group spend an hour trying to figure out this chest, thinking for sure it was a mimic, but they finally got trapped open. It was just full of bags of GP. It took it with silent relief, and all the gold pieces began shooting through the bags, attacking them. The coins were baby mimics, hundreds of them. It's basically Minecraft Silverfish, but gold, because you're evil. Where's the transform? Here we go. I'm gonna remove the crops entirely. And you can see with a little bit of lag, just because the game is like that, some of the combat, that's actually what combat looks like, though a bit smoother. For being the start thing, the starting screen, my, Oh, I have multiple window capture instances available. That's interesting. Anyway. Use random skills for checks. Just why? I don't want to know. Oh, this is, my music is super quiet. You guys aren't hearing the music at all. Let me see if I can fix that. Nope, that's the wrong button. I jumped into Encyclopedia. Whoopsie! Although we might jump into that real quick so I can talk about the races and stuff. Oh yeah, music volume is super low. You know, I'm just gonna max these out so they're, like, appropriate. Okay. Oh yeah, you guys are hearing that properly now. Okay, cool. This is Sword of the Stars 2 End of Flesh. Oh yeah, I should fix the stream info so if anyone else comes in here, they're not like completely surprised. I am certain this is not a category on Twitch. I will. Now my stuff is still working as expected. Yeah. Ah. Oh, my stuff. Died for a second there. Oh. I think it was when I was messing with the streams, the stream info, maybe. All right. Let's Yeah, all right. I'm jumping into the encyclopedia real quick just to show the factions. Real quick, the races. We have pictures to help. Oh, it's just yeah, I didn't really. Oh no, I can enhance them. Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick intro on the races. These are the humans. This is supposed to be actually like 400 years in our future. So this is Soul Force is like the canon name for them. If you were to make your faction actually go with the canon. So from Earth, it's it's like UNSC. These are their basic ship designs where use things called the ring shape node drive. Nodes work like railways basically between stars. You can't the map just generates what stars connect to other ones and you can travel along them like really fast. You have to travel slower than light to go between them, which takes forever. It's not worth it. Do these arrows do anything? No. Alright. So that's humans. Hivers are your big bugs. They're just straight up big bugs. They use teleportation gates. Like, you use slower than light to get a fleet to a star system, then set up a gate ship, and then they can instantly transport, like in a single turn, anything that can fit through that gate afterwards. They also have the best armor on their ships in the game. We have Tarka. Oh, nope, I forgot I have to click it over here. Bugs for the win. Hivers can be pretty brutal. Not gonna lie. You have to take out that hive gate, or that will be a grinding siege until the end of time. Tarkans are... They're like ape-shaped reptiles that have a very standard warp field FTL and a lot of like Asian warrior culture going on. They have usually the best military like cruisers with a lot of like forward-facing guns for like advancing stuff. Too bad for them. In my campaign, they were the first ones to get wiped out by an alliance between me and the Hivers. Hilariously. Tyranids are really good right now. They have the Lear. These are what I am. The Lear are telepathic, telekinetic dolphins, effectively. That, if they get old enough, they turn into whales. Their FTL is teleporting very short distances, very fast. But a flicker drive. Pretty reliable, pretty fast. Does weird stuff to inertia and gravity, though. They're all about research, and their ships are comparatively, like, Stafford stat, weaker than most of the other races. Yeah, I know, right? And they're my favorite race, by far. Just that tech and that sleek ship design. Love it. I don't mind humans either, to be honest. Humans are okay. The Morigi. These are like one of the elder, like the super old races. They used to rule the galaxy. They're like giant bird dragon things with like wingspans like 24 feet wide and some stuff. They're Their ships look like... you know that stealth bomber? Like the famous one? The Spirit or whatever that we have? Like the classic, like, Cold War flat... Yeah, the B-52? I think. Yeah, the flat wedge wing bomber. The ships look like that. And the more ships they have together, they make the whole fleet go faster. Which, last time I tried to play them in this, it didn't work, but anyway. We have... the Zool. So Zool are marsupial bioweapons created by the Solka, which are these ginormous capital ship-sized things that fly through space. Okay, I'm not gonna try to make a big reveal. They're what happens when Lear get too old, go insane, because they don't have any upper lifespan. And they just keep getting larger and more powerful the older they get. So they eventually get to a point in their life cycle where they get too old, they go insane, they drive their whole race through a forced industrial revolution, force them to build a giant spacesuit, then they leave and go out and terrorize the galaxy. And there's like 7 or 8 of them that are currently flying through space right now. One of them that was obsessed with biotech made the Zool. That was a big thing in the first expansion of the first game, was these guys were being revealed. Now, you can play them as their own race, where they use a thing where they rip their way into a node drive, a node path, and they go through that. They also tend to work like locusts, where they over-harvest their planets, and they're constantly have to move around and stuff. Nomadic gameplay. However, a Splinter section of them allied with the Lear. And now, because of that, the Lear have the best battle riders and boarding parties. Because their boarding parties are Zool, and their battle riders are designed by Zool. So it's really good. Also, in this game, the Zool can actually call in and use the Solka in combat. Which is brutal, because remember I said the Lear were telepathic, telekinetic dolphins? Psychic powers are in this game. Every faction can use them, except I think... No, the AI can use them. Lear are obviously best at them, but Solka just wreck. They just grab ships psychically and throw them, like, out of the map. It's just, it's insane. And you have the Loa, which are the AI, which are... Oh, nope. Not the right thing. I keep clicking down here and forgetting it's just the background. It's not the actual thing. Loa are the combined... So in the first game, when you researched AI, you had a chance at any moment that you could have AI rebellion, and it would cause a whole problem. This is basically the culmination. This last expansion of the games is the culmination of those AI rebellions coming together and making their own faction. It's all the AI of the other races, which is cool because they actually represent them here in this image, where you have like the Lear AI, this is Tarkin, human, this is probably Zool, this is Hiver, and then this is Mariji. And it's not far off from their basic body shapes. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, now that we know who the people are, kind of, and what they look like, let's actually get into my game. This is... The Warmonger is actually one of the Zool leaders. They have a bunch of names. This is actually what combat looks like, the back screen. So as I don't mess with it, it will, Oh, it hit all OBS. Oh, no, we're good. It's not you, Zombie. It's me. It's being weird because it's trying to load the game up. It's not very... Remember I said it wasn't really super finished? It's not super optimized. I should get there. This is my first time trying to stream it, so... it should be fine. I can imagine. Yeah. So what happened is that the producers... Just aside when the game was like 3/4 of the way done, was just like, hey, you guys got like 3 months, and then you are pushing it. You are pushing it to market. Developers are like, well, this is a dead game, I guess. We'll try. We'll try to update it after, but because this is back in 2012, so it wasn't the norm to put out incomplete games. This is already a very cult following kind of deal. As you can tell, the people that did take a liking to the game liked it really freaking hard. Because the few I have run into in forums, like it like I do. It's just, yeah. I'm try clicking it. Maybe help it along. To be fair, it is also trying to load an extremely large, complex game. That's very late in. I'm in like the upper 200 turns, like 260 something, I think, 270 something. Like I'm in deep. Yeah. Yep. I'm. I've got most of the tech tree that I have access to unlocked. Unfortunately, one of the coolest abilities I've just learned. So there's some buys to load. My empire right now is about 100 colonies. Not joking. I can pull up the number. 100 colonies across like 80 systems. There's about 70 space stations. I have a Google sheet to track my fleet names, because I call them like first Black Singer fleet and second and third, because I kind of feel makes it feel a bit like the Space Marine Legions to me in the Great Crusade, like before they got names. Um, Man, do I have to try it again? I might have to try it again. Hold on. I'm gonna try it again. This might be longer than a half hour, but you know, I'm okay with it. Uh, let's try loading that again. The first load is the hardest. It, I've not really had problems with loading up the game, but like I said, I've never streamed it at the same time. Yeah, I think I'm about to go into the 20s for war fleets. And then there's survey fleets, patrol fleets, construction fleets. Um, what's the other? Just started with transport fleets, because now I've now got a type of ship that can transport like defense platforms and stuff, and massive fleets of battle riders and drones. If I wanted to do drones for some reason. All right, let's try this again. I'ma find the save and load it directly. Yeah, 271. This one. Yeah, you will not be seeing Tarkins in this at all. Oh wait, no. There's one... Oh, here we go. 190. No, not 190. I saw a 90. I thought it was it. Nope, 271. Get my stuff. I saw the Tarkins were still alive, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. Ah, no. So this specific campaign is done within the map that is literally called the Sotsiverse. The Sword of the Stars versus the canon universe, the canon star map, where you actually, if you put the factions in the right player slots, you will start on their actual homeworld. Like, you'll start the humans on Earth in the Sol system with the planets up to, like, Jupiter or Saturn actually there, and you can colonize a few of them. I start on my canon home planet of Mur, Muur. They like to double their vowels a lot. Like, ones that we don't double, usually. It's just the Lear, Liir. I've tried to name the majority of my colonies something along that. Oh, I think it's working. This is what it normally looks like. Makes this kind of jump. Want this to work. I love this game. Except for this part. Ah, there we go. Alright, now we're in. Yeah. Got some really cool loading screen art, too. Alright. Are you ready for an overload of info? I'm gonna have to zoom. Alright. Actually, I'll start right here. Alright. So this is the shim system. The ship swims. It does swim. Alright. So this is the shim system, which has all these planets in it. This is my home system, so it's usually the home systems usually are big with a lot of planets. Got them fleets. Did I not? Oh, I guess this is right when I was building the 15th, the first Gen 4 fleet with the Leviathans. We'll get to that. It's just the different bases I got here, the number of colonized planets. You can see that over here too. And this is the star map. All those dots are stars, and all the blue ones are my colonies. Yeah, some of those systems have quite a few planets. That one's got 6. Yeah, that's actually one of my most prosperous systems right there. Yeah, this is the green ones. That's the Hiver Empire, because I'm in a formal alliance with them. You can see some blue, some purple. There might be a red somewhere there, and then these tan ones. So the blue ones are the couple humans that I know where their colonies are. The purples are a couple Marigi, where I know they are. The blue one up there, that's currently seeing some combat. And these ones are my targets, the Loa. They are my current thing I'm fighting. So I'm gonna jump around a bit here. For context, the ones that have these star shapes, those are province capitals. Because you can actually nope, that's not the right. That's how you make provinces, but I'm gonna show you provinces. You can make provinces to help divvy up your administrative stuff better. They get bonuses for being in provinces. That trade map doesn't help large scale, but when you go in, it gives you good stats. Oh, you need more freighters. Oh yeah, because I up their stations. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Let me get to stuff that's a lot easier to absorb. Start research. Yeah, this game is so big. All right, this is your tech tree. All of this, yeah. Oh, this is the psionics, them psychers. Let's jump to easy stuff. Energy weapons. Well, good. I mean, I used to study a lot of that stuff too, so you'll understand me better. So okay. So you know, you start just basic UV burst laser, which you always immediately get the X-ray. There's a point defense. Go up to phasers that I was mentioning, and just mix into a tight beam weapon. And then you just get that as a point defense, and then nothing can stop you. High level of accuracy and good stopping power. We'll jump into details. I have an accuracy. Maximum deviation, 0. Perfect accuracy. Oh, that's what those are called. Inertial cannons. That's the weird grav ball thing I was talking about. Deeper understanding of field physics allows projection contained fields that induce a temporary shift in the target's acceleration versus inertia ratio. You were moving and now you're not. Real hard. Results a small reduction in target speed that slowly fades over time. Multiple hits by this weapon increases the effect. When inertial field does no contact damage per se, the stress of the inertial shift does damage to target vessel support structure. Which can just pop, like if you do enough structure damage, you can just pop a ship, just flat out. And the pulse gravity beam does the same thing. Just way more and does beam damage. This refinement of the standard graviton beam by adding an oscillating gravimetric pulse to the beam, which induces brutal shock waves in the target. Resonating waves can get so strong it can result in catastrophic failures in systems like turret connections. So turrets can just pop off their ship. We have the heavy combat lasers talking about. Cutting beams, a very large fixed mount beam weapon that fires a high energy stream of anti-prons that cut through any solid material at very long range. Then you jump over to torpedoes. These are usually my big damage doers right here. Advanced energy field manipulation techniques allow for creation of high energy antimatter torpedoes that burst into 3 high-speed submunition torpedoes in order to confuse and saturate point defense. It says 3. It's way more than 3. Way more than 3. The submunitions are also very effective in countering massed battle rider attacks at very long range. I've not actually seen that happen, but I've seen how the tracking on them works, so I can see how that would actually like function like that. And jump over to like the really complex ones like industrial, C3, which is communications. I really failed a lot of my AI stuff up there. I can't get it. Seems engineering, how you get bigger ships. The battle riders. My next thing is probably going up these drones. This is currently a research thing going over because I also have a bunch of salvage projects going at the same time. Oh, I had one, I guess, finished, and I gotta start those, or I'll start these and then figure out the. I don't know. I'm probably not actually gonna save any of that, so I'm not gonna actually start doing too much crap. Tony Stark's probably enjoy the Jericho missile. Yeah, pretty close. I can show you. So we jump to designing ships. This is a cruiser. I can jump down to like the battle rider, which doesn't look like much. Battle cruiser, bit more in the way of turrets, and yes, each of these I can say, let's pop inertial cannons, and actually, you know what I'll do? I'll right click this. Now that didn't work. Hold on. There we go. Now they're all. Wait, so where are these? I don't know why that didn't work the first time. Anyway, larges. Oh, there's pulse graviton beams. And then you have modules. You can add more stuff like bulwark, more structure rating. Semper Fi, more anti-boarding troops. Xavier, let's give him psychic powers. Straight up. Or more point defense turrets. And power ones where you can give them, you know, more power. This is an actual one I use in combat with those laser missiles and the big torpedo stuff and the cunning lasers. This is just carried in 3s by larger ships. Probably the weapon test. This is what this actually looks like. These health bars are actually dynamic and will actually like show you how the damage is hitting you. You see that other beam is from those missiles. Oh yeah, because this got normal phasers as a medium. Do the big missiles again. At the same time, I can also test its defenses by firing missiles at it. So we're firing 10 missiles at it. Oh, watch the missiles. Zzz. Yeah, one missile got through, and this is always like this is never alone. That's what I mean about the point defense. Like, wah, and they're all gone. Gone. Got platforms, different types, including fleets of battle riders. Horde torpedoes, just a ton of torpedoes. We jump up to dreadnoughts. This thing's main job is just to bring in a ton of those that we just saw. And it comes with its own guns. that are fairly powerful. But this is not even a necessarily... Like, I use it a lot because I like to overwhelm them with a ton of those small ships. This is not even like a really combat type dreadnought. I know, their ship design's so cool looking. Let's fire like 20 missiles at this thing. Not even close. 60. I just tapped 20 missiles 3 times. Dude, those antimatter torpedoes. Those all those submunitions do so much damage. Yeah, none of them got even close. How many missiles do I have to throw at this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 100 missiles. This is why drones are no good after mid-game. Nope, never mind. I was wrong. 60 missiles? Nope, still can't get through. There's going to be 6 of these ships next to each other, and their contingent of about a dozen of those battle cruisers. All with these point defense weapons. This is the command ship. The Black Song is the model name. Every ship gets their own individual name. It's just on a auto. I just have it auto. You can put in your own names, but I usually just use the auto name generator. This thing has a lot of forward beam cannons. There we go. That wrecks ships pretty hard. Let's pop a few missiles at you. Also, all of these, I can't use them in here. I'd have to go into combat, which I will try to do. They all have a psychic module with healing. So I can click on a ship individually and then manually heal it in combat. That's what this... Oh, where'd it go? That's what this, Nope, it won't. Here we go. That's what this module is. I can give it one of these powers. I've not really tried the other ones massively. I think it's because they don't really have descriptions filled in them. I guess I can only guess. And we're gonna look at battleships before Leviathans. So this next size up. This is a dreadnought-sized battle rider. So none of the FTL nonsense. This is just armor and firepower. Yeah. There's the inertial cannons. There's graviton plus meson beams. Oh man. I still haven't seen these in actual combat. These have not seen combat yet. Because the game keeps crashing while I'm trying to build that 15th Black Singer fleet that will carry... How many of these into combat? 6. 6 of these into combat. With the Leviathans. Okay, so a couple got through. 1, 2, 3, 4 got through out of... How many did I fire? Like 40? Yeah. Again, these are never alone. Like, these literally cannot be alone. You're ready for Leviathans. Like, yeah, like 10%. Yeah. They didn't even do that much damage. This is a Leviathan. This is a battleship carrier. Yeah, you know those fixed giant beam cans that just pop ships? That's these giant turrets here. Also, on top of them bringing in the battleships, I have these Kingfisher modules that carry a piece, 2 battle riders of the scout type. So these are literally coming in with a fleet by themselves. And the actual fleet is going to be 2 of these. So 8 scouts, a dozen battleships, and then it will have 2 the battle cruiser carrier dreadnoughts. So there will be 2 additional dreadnoughts, each carrying 3 battle cruisers. Yeah, it's Cthulhu Death Star. Weapon test this thing. Look at its health bar. It's all one section, so you can't destroy sections. These spines on the back are giant. They're planetary missiles. The same missiles your planets shoot for defense. These are beam cannons on turrets. These smaller ones are the triple heavies. Super heavy turrets. Then these are heavy turrets. These are mediums. These are smalls. Like, oh. That's why I go through all the crashing and everything, because I want to play with these toys. Fire the beam cannons. What's wrong with you? There's gonna be so many lasers here in a second up from up there. Yeah, there we go. Oh, those are the big missiles. They like hit in the back or whatever. I don't know. They overshot. Yeah. There's a game mode. Yeah, these are the hangars. They're shown here. There's a game mode that specifically build 5 of these. It costs so many resources. Part of this game is you have to prototype your first one, and then you can build that design. If you want to change it, you have to retrofit. It's this whole process, a real pain. Or you make a new one and prototype again. Prototyping one of these was like 25 million credits, which after building this first main fleet. No, actually, no. I built 2 of them. I have another one in progress. Over in the King system over here somewhere. Over there. Because I have another Forge world. Over developed super massive world. I went from like nearly 200 million credits to now negative 60. Over the course of like 10 turns. And I'm starting to beat the debt back. Because you can go into debt. You can use debt. You can use stimulus. You have a security amount you have to pay out to deal with spies and intel and crap. Which, because I'm playing against AI, is not that big of a deal. You just make sure it stays at this minimum line, and then you just never touch it again. Unless you're using spies, which I guess you could. Whatever. I just prefer to like bowl over my target. This will show you all of your finances, your ongoing colony costs, your station upgrades. I always keep my stations constantly upgrading, both individually and big upgrades and levels. The ships being built. All of your colonies, 101 colonies, and how much you're getting from each of them. Change your tax rate. I have 9 provinces. 101 colonies, bringing in 21.5 million credits a month. Not a month, a turn. Trade income, which I can bump up a bunch if I actually take the time. I know I have combat starting with a Gen 3 fleet over here against the AI. Let's see if I can actually make it happen. First off, do they need some repairs? Yes. It's the 14th. Because I replaced the numbers when a fleet gets wiped out. I don't remember if... I know one of these 2 is, I think the second is, Actually, I can... Hold on, I can tell. I can tell what's a, I want to show a 3rd gen, because I know there's a 2nd gen in combat here somewhere. But if it's a, yeah, that's a 2nd gen. No, it's the 9th or 3rd gen. 9th to 3rd gen, because that's my standard fleet contingent right there. So let's see if I can get the 9th to play. So to show off what combat in this game looks like. Dude, if there was actually a market for streaming this game, I could have a single campaign going for like a year. Maybe not a year. No. It'd be like quarterly. It'd be like a quarterly campaign. I've dunked so many hours into just this campaign alone. I've been playing this campaign since, like, off and on since, like, February. And only one faction. This is set up to make it as long and as high-tech as possible, because I really want to get into the really high-tech stuff. So, you have to fully wipe out every faction's last faction standing. So this will still go for a while, but I'm getting pretty close where I'm basically unstoppable at this point, unless the AI allied against me, which I've only seen it happen a couple times. And even then, it'd be hard because I'm so much more advanced than them. I know for like fluff reasons, I'm taking out the Loa first because they're actually they initially were aggressing me, and then I'm going after the Zool because the Leer always hunt down the Zool. When this game started, to the galactic like northwest of my colonies kept getting raided by the Tarka over and over again, and there was a constant battle where they were raiding my northwest flank. And then the tide began to shift when my tech started rising, but at the same time the Tarka stopped attacking. Found it oddly opportune. I get my Gen 2 ships going. And there we go. That's the 8th. What's the 8th god? Are you Gen? Yeah, you're okay, cool. There we go. So that's that. I'll be with the 9th, even though I think the 7th is also Gen 3, yeah. When I started getting towards the core of the Tarkin Empire, I found out they were getting pincered and attacked by the yeah, I have a feeling that was 3rd gen right there. Not 3rd gen, 2nd gen. The Hivers were hitting them from the opposite side, and we very quickly made an alliance as we were literally fighting together against the Tarka in their capital system. Alright. So you have, when you come into combat, you have the entire system to play with, and it is lagging a bit because I'm streaming, I'd imagine. This is normally like silky smooth. These are all colonized planets, and I'm going to, in theory, raise them all to the ground. But first, I gotta aha. All right, nice. It's an enemy dreadnought. So this will actually be a fight. So first thing I'm going to do is release all of my battle cruisers. Send target that and close to attack. And these two, I'm gonna set to standoff because that's my command ship and my supply and repair ship. And oh, I got too far away. Oh no, here. Oh, only my command ship was far enough away. What I like to do in combat is actually focus the camera on the enemy ships, because a cool feature of this game is that when you target a point on an enemy ship, your guns aim for exactly that point, so you can target individual gun batteries. Yeah. Yeah, getting real close where all my beams can hit you. Grand idea. They're toast. Zombie, do you understand why I like this game yet? Just looking at that. The wall of cluster missiles. Those aren't even missiles. Those are antimatter torpedoes. If this... it won't be till the end. That was something like 20k damage right there. Per ship, which is absurd amounts. I think now is the unfortunately somewhat mundane task of just wiping out all their defense platforms, which will take a minute. And wiping clean this planet. And we got 2 minutes, 45 seconds. It is very close to virtual 40k in space. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any ground combat. Technically, there are assault shells that you can use to really raise a planet quickly, but... I am looking at actually making some of those just to make this process a little quicker, because these low have really hardened their planets, so just beaming their planet from orbit has not been exactly efficient for like a while. Oh yeah, right here. They're sending drones out. There's a drone Focus over there. There we go. They sent out drones. These are heavy. These are Loa heavy drones. Nothing. They did nothing. Early game, drones, really strong. Second you get phaser point defense. Meaningless. Worthless. Downside of this having actually a pretty reasonably realistic scale for like systems is that like there are parts like this that drag on to be pretty slow. What? You already killed that planet? I don't know. There wasn't that much on that planet. Go kill that defense platform, I guess. All those drones just cease to exist. Very good. That's just next. Oh, I took a little bit of damage. Oh, that probably was from the Dreadnought, to be honest. These guys are right in front. I have lost nothing, actually. I've not taken a single casualty. Dude, I love how the munitions independently track. That's probably why they meant that against Battle Riders they were really good, because their target got destroyed and they immediately target on their own. The sub-munitions did. Target the next valid target. And then just wiped it out.
We are being attacked. They mean to kill us.
Yeah, I just want this whole sector cleaned out. If I can't, I'm not gonna have enough time. Not gonna be able to get close enough before the timer runs out. Unfortunately, you're required to have timers on combat. I wouldn't mind unlimited. Now what sucks is the next fight, which I might not even do. I might, because it would just be annoying. It's a bunch of Gen 2 ships fighting like multiple Loa fleets. And I think that's where I kept crashing before. Yeah, we'll see. Where am I? Oh, here we go.
We are being attacked. They mean to kill us.
Yeah, missiles. Friggin'. What do you call them? Drones, whatever. These were already damaged before from previous fleets. Oh, here's the healing I mentioned. If you watch the health bars on the sides of the ship, they're just refilling as I hold this down. And it kind of goes in cycles. I'm guessing that's to show the amount of concentration the psychers, I call them psychers, psionic specialists have at any given moment towards that. This can be really big in sieges because really dug-in planets do have, or can have, significant defenses. Why are they all the way over there? Why are you not moving in? Like, get in there and go kill the defense things. You guys go kill a planet. So yeah, there's a bunch of other like small additional fun features. Like these games have random encounters that pop up from just weirdness in a big galaxy. Stuff you can find in a previous unexplored system, like minor alien factions that you can actually learn how to integrate them into your game, into your empire, which I normally would do, except for some reason this game, even though I set it for them to be on, there were none. I've not encountered any of them. As well as other like threats or even scientific marvels you can just find. As well as stuff that attacks your, yeah, see, they're getting hit pretty hard by the defensive beam weapons. Shooting them right in the face. It's a really dug in plan. You can see the health bar over here going down very slowly. That's basically the next 2 minutes, is just them blasting the crap out of that, while getting punched in the face in the process. You can also have meteor storms, slavers, other random races that, Devon Newman. Oh, you might not even know because you still don't know that much about 40k lore. There are basically the Catan in here, like in their original form. These things called wraiths that are just like sentient gas things that try to eat your planets. Or eat your ships, then your planets. There's also pirates that will try messing with your freighters. You gotta build freighters that can deal with that, or patrol ships that can deal with that. You can actually do piracy raids on other empires, and counter piracy raids on from others doing pirate raids on you. One weapon I found out that existed recently that unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to get is actually a psionic beam cannon. It's a heavy beam, like the graviton lasers and the meson beams. And it's literally just focused psionic energy. From the picture, it looks really cool. But my research on it, my research to see if it was feasible completely failed. It's like a 12% chance. So I'm leaving that alone for a little while. But I'd really like it. Be a really nice capstone on my beam tech. Seeing that I am like the most proficient psionic race. What is going on here? This is a different fleet. That's pretty banged up. You're not actually repairing the hull. Okay, anyway. What's going on here? Is this an enemy planet? Sure, I'll attack that planet. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, I guess they have a bunch of battle riders in this fleet. Low guys. Just a whole bunch of them, apparently. So, probably torpedo ships. Yeah, you can see these are Gen 2 because they have the pulsed laser ones. And just different weapons all around. They're just not as good. Oh, I didn't set my guys to advance. Ha! If this gets me to the other turn, I didn't do any of that management stuff before, and it lets me get to the next turn because of OBS or for some weird reason, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed. Not gonna lie. I could have had that. I could have had that 15th Black Singer fleet moving. You know what? Let me save myself from that potential frustration. It's now been an extra hour. I'm gonna stop here. I do have other stuff I wish to get done between streams, like making that white armor trailer tutorial. Okay, that's getting yeah. So if you're around in 3 hours, zombie, I'll be back painting more white scars. And anyone else that's still in the stream in the chat, thanks for sticking around, hanging out. And yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, I know, more white scars. It's massive surprise. I know. I'm always full of surprises. Yeah, and I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.